Hi, my name is Bahman, and today I am here to discuss independent candidates. A friend of ours, John, who has been pioneer of this movement, and we hope to learn something about this movement from him directly. John?
Well, thanks very much, Bahman. Hi, my name is John Richardson, and I'm here today to welcome you to the concept of what it means to run as an independent candidate and why that is important. You know, I got to say that this is a concept that is very dear to my heart, and I think that if you're feeling helpless, if you're feeling as though your vote matters so little that you don't even vote, then you're actually in the right place by watching this. You know, years and years ago, candidates were all, by definition, independent. And then what happened gradually was that because the purpose of a parliament is to make laws and to vote, certain persons got together. Essentially, they were voting coalitions. Why don't we get together and vote in a certain way? The practice became so common that they actually became parties, political parties. You'll recognize some of the names. What is that ideal anyway? Why would anybody run as an independent? Well, the answer's simple. If you think the voters matter, if you think the purpose of an MP is to represent the voters, then you want to vote independent for sure. Because make no mistake about it, once somebody becomes a party member, the party tells them what to do. The party says jump, they say how high. The party says say this, they say what. Believe me, party candidates do not represent their ridings in any way, shape, or form. But back to other ways that independent candidates could run. There's 4 ways this can be accomplished. The first is that, like me, you could run alone, totally, as a lone wolf. That's really tough. We'll talk about that this evening. Bahman will talk about it. But basically, you're responsible for everything, and there's no doubt that the lone wolf candidate has been marginalized. Another possible way that independent candidates could run would be to recognize how difficult it is to be a lone wolf, get themselves together. Let's call it a pack of lone wolves getting together in some kind of coalition, association, where they share a common ideal. Some independent candidates may want to take the pack concept so far that they actually want to become a party. We'll call it a party pack. Now, I don't believe anybody's done that to date, and some people may think it's an oxymoron. But the reality is, as long as candidates are united by an ideal, that they need not vote in a certain way to be a party, but rather to vote in a way that represents their riding, then this is possible. But you know, when people think of parties, they seem to only think of registered parties. The Elections Act makes a clear distinction between parties that are registered and parties that are not registered. So make no mistake about it. The fact that a party is not registered doesn't make it any less of a party. A wonderful example of a non-registered political party is the Democracy Party of Canada, founded in London, Ontario. It may be that eventually it will be registered, but it is, in fact, a political party, and I believe the only political party existing in Canada at the moment, that seeks candidates who have a commitment to represent the interests of their riding and not vote along party lines. And the final way is, of course, what you see every day of the week. The taxpayer-funded organizations that suck up your money and basically pollute the political environment. And these are the existing mainstream parties, the Liberals, Conservatives, and of course the NDP. But anyway, these are just frameworks within which independent candidates can run and should run. And I hope that by the end of this evening that you're interested in independent candidates and perhaps motivated enough to get out and either help an independent candidate run or become an independent candidate yourself. For more information, I urge you to visit the website www.independentcandidates.ca. Bahman, what are your thoughts?
Yes, having the number of the people to participate as an independent candidate creates the whole spectrum of ideas, like what you call it, a rainbow of the ideas. You are not isolated to color red or blue or orange. You have all shades of the rainbow, and therefore it represents the true democracy in the House of Commons. As we discussed earlier, the seat in the parliament belongs to the people in the riding, not to the MP.
Absolutely. The seat belongs to the people. Well, you know, that's one of my motivations for getting involved in this. I want to encourage people to run as independents. And, you know, I'm obviously by no means an expert on anything. But, you know, the logistical problems here are real. And they're big enough to keep a lot of people from running as independents who really would like to do that and who should do that and who can make a very valuable contribution to our political process, the community, our democracy. And we're going to be running a series of videos, if you found this one interesting, on specific aspects of how to run as an independent. We'll talk about financing. Give you a bit of heads up on that now. Money is highly overrated. In this age of social media, blogs, email, YouTube, where you may be seeing this now, the issue is more about exposure. I would much rather have 10 people share my web page with somebody than give me any money. And in fact, although in my campaign I wouldn't necessarily turn money away, I'm not out trying to raise it either. And you know, to some extent you may ask yourself, well, what would you do with a bunch of money if you raised it anyway? And I'm not sure the answer is clear, because what you need is to motivate people to express an interest and a commitment to independent candidates. And then, of course, there are a number of motivational issues, how to get yourself, and practical, how to get yourself involved in debates, how to perform during debates, et cetera, et cetera. But these are the types of things that we hope that you'll tune in on later. But mostly, we hope that you either help an independent candidate run or run yourself, because this country is far too important to leave it in the hands of 3 or 4 people elected by a small number of people of those who vote. Bahman, your thoughts?
The mainstream political parties have their candidates run in different ridings, and after they are being elected, then they take the order of the boss, who is the leader of the party mainly. And opinion of the constituents is not matter anymore when they get the seat in the House of Commons. And therefore is essential for the process of the democracy to motivate individuals and get to the arena of democracy and fight for their own constituents.
What I think is a very important step to the future of our country. Minimally, my God, get out and exercise that vote. Do not let another election go by where you don't vote. But either help an independent candidate or join us as part of the independent candidates movement. We'd love to help you. It is a difficult, you got to be a lone wolf in part.
Absolutely, John. In fact, there is a lot of process involved in becoming a candidate, regardless of being an independent candidate or a party candidate. There is a pre-election preparation, then there is a process of the nomination, and then there is the campaign by itself, and even post-election, which becomes the issue of the financing, and that by itself needs a diligent work, regardless of if you have money or not, if you raise money or not. Elections Canada financing requires that you fill all of your papers, and it has to be in order to be processed accordingly. For those of you who are interested to find out more information, you can go either to the www.independentcandidates.ca, or you go to my personal website, which is www.bahmanyazdanfar.com, or you can go to www.democrat.ca to obtain all of the information that you need about the movement of the independents.
Thank you, Bahman. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.